Hey folks, welcome to iHeart Board Games, where today we are taking a look at Nemesis Lockdown. This is a standalone game. This is not an expansion to the original Nemesis. In fact, I believe they have 3 Nemesis at the time of this recording, like 3 different standalone Nemesis games, and each of them have their own expansions. It's getting quite confusing that they're keeping them called Nemesis, but I understand that because you want to keep it all in the family. So let's take a look at Nemesis Lockdown. In fact, they even go as far as to say it on the back of the box. This is a standalone game. You do not need Nemesis, etc., etc. But this is a 1 to 5 player game, kind of a horror theme. Can you trust your companions? Because some of them might be traitors. 60 to 180 minutes. We played the original on the channel many, many times. And then we're going to be playing this one in mid-July over at twitch.tv/heartboardgames. So, let's take a look at this game from Awaken Realms. And as I peel off the plastic, I like to tell you about twitch.tv/heartboardgames. Like I just mentioned, we play this game on there. Make sure you drop a subscribe here so you don't miss out when the video goes live for this. Oh, so heavy. So heavy, and I think I might need a little more space. Thank you. All right, here we go with Nemesis Lockdown. I feel like I'm getting to this point in my board gaming where these giant games are the ones I like more. Like the more shelf space it takes up, the better. Okay, so I did a short on this video because when the box showed up, it was damaged to heck from FedEx. And at the time I reported it was fine. But now that I'm getting a closer look at it, it's nothing critical, but you can see there's a dent there in the corner. And I'm noticing, oh, by the way, we like to look in the inside of it just to see. I'm noticing, let me move this out of the way just so I can show you. We'll look at all these components in a moment. But yeah, we got a little tear there. Once again, nothing critical. I'm not going to cry about it. It's just something I noticed. But honestly, this game will probably never leave the collection. So at least that's the plan, right? So Nemesis Lockdown. Let's look at this book here. We're just going to flip just to show you what kind of page count we're looking at. If it's anything like the other book, that's a good thing because I thought the first book was very well written. And this one looks to be about the same. We still have the queen, the breeder, the adults. It's all new minis, though. That's the one interesting thing. So I am going to have to read this book eventually, and I imagine this is available online as well. This actually, I have the Steam game of this. Some reason they have Lockdown in Steam, but they don't have the original game in Steam. So it'll be fun to eventually play this, and then I could just play it as much as I want on Steam, either solo or with people. Yeah, this introduces some new things. I see power. That was not an actual thing in the original game. We have elevators, all sorts of things. But anyway, that's just a quick look. Using intruders from... Okay, so you can use intruders from in games of Nemesis, playing with the intruders. Just like in the other game. Lots of stuff to discover. Big manual, though. What does that say? Don't wait. Read the rules at learn-nemesis.com. There you go. All right, and then we have a rules room reference with a rules summary on the back. I love a good rules summary. If you've seen unboxings here before, you know that's true. Oh, this is interesting. So one is rooms back and forth. Oh, but they're different rooms. Oh, I see. So it's 3 sheets worth of rooms, and then you have the rules summary. Like that a little less. I kind of wish they would have just had all the rooms on one side, but I imagine the text would have been very small for that. So here we have the laboratory. By the way, some of this we can zoom in a bit more. I guess that is our zoomed in look. This is our super zoomed in look. Do we want to look that close? I mean, I guess so. So you may, this, if you're familiar with the first game, this may look familiar to you. It has the weaknesses, and I guess this is the actual lab where we're going to analyze things. That's the bodies, and then we have a different kind of lab. Research object, intruders, and then those. let's look at these different sheets. We're going to have a bunch of these, so I better zoom back out here. Peel off this plastic. Second plastic. I knew this was going to be a big one from the start. We're already, what, 5 minutes in? Sit back. This may be another 10 minutes. I don't want it to be. Try to keep these less than 10 minutes if I can, but when the game gets this big, I can't help it. I can't help it. But you're here for the ride, right? You're here. All right, I'm going to turn this a little bit so it can sit. So we have the sentry, we have the hacker, a repository, backup power supply, isolation room, and character board. I'm not going to flip over the rest of them. I just wanted to show you the backs of these. Unless I see something with the rooms that warrant me flipping them over, but it's a lot already. So we have all these things. Remember those from the first one. We have a lab rat as a character. We have a xenobiologist. And by the way, on the side they say regardless of combat, in combat, and out of combat. They really specify these things now, which is really cool. And they have these that are the same shape, seem to be slightly smaller hexes. Even though it looks like they're connected with these whites, they are not. They are individual hexes here. We have a survivor and a janitor. I kind of want to play the janitor. And then we have the, I think these are elevators. And then so this is interesting. Kill all who did not send the signal. Save all. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Then we have some extra symbols there. And then we're back at the rooms. You remember all these from the first one, if you played the first one. Testing lab surgery, cargo sending, contaminated room. Gain slime when searching. Okay. We have some dials. So we're going to have to see something that holds these dials in a second. Guard room, cargo, defense control, CSS control, vent control. Oh yeah, and then we have the launch all, launch ons and stuff. Here's the inside of these dials. We have a nast cave entrance. Move through technical corridors. That's cool. Laboratory, emergency room, cargo. Technical corridors are a place from the first one where you normally cannot travel. Only one character could do so. If you have an LG washing machine or dryer, you probably hear that. There we go. Elevator. Whoop, knocked it out. We got lots of doors. This piece, whatever that is. Archive. Ooh, an archive. The person we're playing with in July is an archivist. They're going to freak out. It'd be funny if we don't end up playing with that one. It's a #1 room, though, so we might actually have that. Decon room, transmitter, power generator, cooling system. All right. So it looks like we have our insert contamination thing, just like we do in the first one. Ooh, infection procedure. I feel like that's new. I don't remember that. Let's see, what does it say? If one of the contamination codes you've just scanned was infected, if you have a larva up, you die. Place a creeper. If you do not have a larva, place one there. Aha. All right. We have our Nemesis bag. Lots of extra bags here. Gel packets, you know, candy for later. Big old insert. We're going to have to zoom out on this one. Just like in the other game. So I will say this. From the top, I feel like the other one has a little better of a system of storing. And you think they would have learned more things, but okay. I mean, this has bigger storage, I will say that. We got our little injury cubes, basic pandemic style cubes. We have some dice, which I'll show you right here. Really basic stuff here. Nothing crazy, but we do introduce these blue ones. That's kind of new. I don't know what that's about. And an orange thing. I don't know. A whole lot of new stuff. And we got the, these are going to be for the dial systems. More dial systems. We got standees for the doors. We have our noise tokens. Dreaded noise tokens. We got fire tokens if we're going to use those. Got some little bases for the characters. Malfunction tokens. Lots of those. All right, let's move that aside. Now what we've been waiting for, all the minis. So let's I'm just going to zoom in on this because I think that'll get the job done. As far as showing these off. Nothing crazy. Just want to show off, we'll select a few to pull out, but for the most part, I mean, that pretty much covers it. Oh, that's cool. I can't really tell. This is, it's kind of like the first ones, but more bony, I guess. Yeah, a little more like Stranger Things-ish, I guess. I like the xenomorph looking guys, but yeah, I guess they couldn't just keep it the same. And then we have all the people. Oh, what is this thing? They're standing there with their gun on the ground. Not a great way to go. And then their arms up. Oh, they have an extra robot arm, kind of a Doc Ock of one. Doc Try. These are kind of the same, which is good. They worked. We have the little larva pieces that are here at the bottom, really small. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for this particular one. Let's move that aside. And now we got the big ones. Silica gel. This appears to be the second largest one. Interesting beast here. All of these, like, you could just wash them and they'll look really cool. So I just need to, you know, put my time where my mouth is and just wash them and do so. How the heck did I take this out? I have to watch back on the tape to figure that out. Was it on the side? See on this side? There it is. I got to really pay attention when taking these out. Okay, facing out. So this is going to be the queen. This is your big lady. Kind of reminds me of the StarCraft queen. Has the Kerrigan style things. They look like wings, but I don't think they are because they don't fly. The bottom's kind of odd, but all right. This mold was missing some and had too much over here. But I think it's still going to stand. Let me know if the bottom of your queen looks like that. In Nemesis Lockdown, that is. So, still, I'm a fan of the original ones, original sculpts. I don't know, maybe that's just how I was raised, how I grew up on old Nemesis. So there's this one hanging from a pole. It's nice to have them interacting with things, but at the same time, I used to play a game called Hero Clicks. If you played Hero Clicks, you know what I'm talking about. It's chess with superheroes. Lots of minis and stuff like that. Eventually, they ran out of just how many ways can you pose a superhero? How many ways can you pose an alien, for example? And so they started introducing things like light poles and stuff like that. So now I'm running around the board with a light pole. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but at least it looks cool just holding it. But once you play it, you're like, look, it's me. I'm Spider-Man with a light pole. You know, doesn't make a lot of sense. But all right, I have two more adults to show off. Two more adult styles. We'll just show them all of them one. They're really skinny, kind of Transformer-looking, bony. I don't know. Nothing beats the original. Oh, look at those bottoms. So I'm sure your bottom also looks like that. Also, the bottom of your queen probably looks like that. All right, let's look at these cards. I am just going to look at the fronts because I believe they're going to be just new art, similar style. Come watch us play it over there because this is a lot of cards to look through. And to look through all these would be crazy. Computer actions. Ooh. Yeah, see it says computer at the bottom even. Very intriguing. And there's our player one card. Then we have an event. Radioactive dust. It's just so much to look through. If I made a mistake and should have looked through it, let me know in the comments. And then we can do a deep dive video. But yeah, that's it. Night Stalker weakness. Ooh, what is that about? Intriguing. Well, that's it for Nemesis. We're keeping this right at 14 minutes. Still, see, that's still too long, but I had that story about Spider-Man I just had to tell. You know what? I was packing this away and decided, yes, I made a mistake. I did not show the board. How could I not show the board? So let's look at the board. It's going to be double-sided. It's Nemesis, so it better be. Oh, yes, it is. Different colors, even. All right, so we're gonna get a wider shot on this in a second. Just want to open it. So I got a lot of stuff here on the table. Oh my gosh, it's huge. Let's go full table. And so here it is. I mean, once it's set up on the table and just done, that's gonna be fine. But right now, it's just like really, really big. All right, this is just gonna have to do. That's what it looks like on one side. The other side, oh, you know what? The other side kind of looks like it wants to be the other way. This one feels like landscape, the other one feels like portrait, but we're still gonna show it landscape. But yeah, look at the way the tracks are over here. They're sideways. This might be a cool one to show, like to actually play on the table. But yeah, so we have S3, S1, S2, S3. It looks like it's like an underground bunker. It goes further down and further down. But that's the board. Let's get back to the video. But until next time, the box is closed.